What's going on here? Hey, get off! Oof! Stupid bugs. And this is not the only time I had a bug on a computer or something like that. I remember many years ago when I used to have another laptop, there was a cockroach on my computer screen. I squished it, accidentally tipped over some water, short-circuited the computer, had to replace it. And I had that one for about 8 years, and now I'm in a new one. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, hi everybody, this is Black Rhino Ranger. Today, I'm feeling a little buggish, insectoid, creepy crawling, if you please. Because today in the UK, it is Insect Week, a week to celebrate and remember our little six-legged arthropod companions. Whether we like them or not, they either provide something good for our ecosystem and the planet, or just a nuisance that we just want to squish. Whether it's something... I mean, there are plenty of others that do definitely help, like the honeybees make the bee, pollinate our flowers. But there are others that are just a nuisance, like the flies, and the mosquitoes, and the cockroaches. And whether we like them or not, let's see if I can do anything to make them as great as we can. Just request me anything relating to insects. You can have a character dress up as an insect. You can have a character interacting with said insect. You can have a real life insect do something with the thing. And it doesn't just mean insect. I can also allow other types of invertebrates as well, like a spider, a slug, or a centipede. Now, keep in mind, the super chat system is still switched off because I just got my computer back for a couple of weeks, and also it's been... How long has it been since I did a live stream? 2 months. Yep, it's been about 2 months since I've done anything related to a live stream. The last one I did, I think, was in April, and it was during a solar eclipse. And that one was a bit of a short one. So anyways, because of that, I'm not doing any rule-free or free requests or any of the complicated ones. Just ask me to do anything with these insects. So what's the first question with the ant? And alright, let's see. Word world. I have heard of Word World before. I actually haven't heard of World World until some fans brought me up. But World World sounds very familiar. Here, let me see. Okay, let me just. What was it again? So, in fact, there is a show I used to watch as a kid, which is a little similar to World World. It's called Letterland, and it also features a cast of characters who are, each of them are in a shape of different letters. For example, there's Clever Cat, whose face whose head has a C on it, and there's a duck, a detective duck whose entire body is a giant D. There's an apple whose entire body is an A. A bunny whose head is a giant B. There's also a queen, and there's also something like that. I remember reading a book on that and watching a few VHSs on that as a kid. For some reason, the cat one kind of scares me because it has a picture of a clown in a very realistic detail. Maybe it's the realistic details on the clown and the illustrations that kind of freak me out with the cat story. It's not easy to find online. Very few people have heard of this. But something like Word World did remind me a little bit of Letterland. At least that's it's a surprising memory jog, let's say. One more thing, fellas. If you have nothing to request, just ask me any question. I actually thought this live stream would be in July. Wait. Was Insect Day supposed to be in? Wait, let me just double check. Did I get the dates wrong? Let me just see. Insect. Wait. Let me just check if I. No, it is the right date. It is the right date. Anyways, what was I? Oh crumbs! I lost my train of thought. I was looking up something and then I forgot what it was. All right. Lenny finds Wormy. Yes, the Wormy. I think somebody else already did that. In fact, somebody else did a reaction video where they spliced clips of SpongeBob and Lenny. She's like, nice try, Luann. Although there's spiders, although this one looks pretty real. And then they use the bzzz. Ah, spider! Okay, that's the end done. Next up, the grasshopper. Or anything else. Rock from... Oh yeah, because she has a bit of a fear of grubs. I thought it was spiders she was afraid of. I mean, I've seen the Phobia Factor episode. And one other thing, fellas, in case you're wondering, I have seen every single episode of Total Drama Island. Yes, even some of the more infamous ones like All Star and every single episode of Total Drama Rama. Since my computer was out, I had nothing else better to do except to just turn off my brain. And is it as bad as everybody makes it out to be? I've seen worse. It's no mega babies. Now I'm curious if there's going to be any more episodes in 2025 or late 2024, because sometimes they tease that there's going to be a new season, but then we never see an extra season after that. Like for example, Redonkulous Race. They said there was going to be a They said there was going to be a Redonkulous Race Season 2. It was hinted. It's like Don is like, find out more on... See if you can find any more... I mean, keep an eye out for any more of the Redonkulous Race. Something like that, but there was no more. You accidentally squished the poor little grasshopper. And he wasn't even aligned with somebody like Hopper from A Bug's Life. There we go, fellas. We got Rock with a grasshopper. Have you seen the 7D on Rock, Paper, Scissors? I've only seen one episode of the 7D, and it's the one that was parodying something like James Bond. One of the 7D, he dresses up, starts acting like James Bond, and even sounds like the Sean Connery James Bond. It was also where it features this shapeshifter guy played by Weird Al Yankovic. And he's like, and in case you're wondering, one of my Weird Al videos has him say the line, "What gave me away? Was it my something something, or was it my tailed tail. Now, an aphid is something that's basically the cattle to ants. I forgot to bring up some interesting facts about bugs as we start drawing. Aphids are, like I said, the cattles to ants. The ants milk aphids, while the ladybugs are basically the wolves to aphids. They wolf them down to size. The grouchy ladybug. I think I've heard about that in I think there was an alternate title in the UK called the Bad-Tempered Ladybird. Now let's see here. Yeah, in fact, if you're there are some things like I think I've lost my train of thought. What was I looking for again? Oh yeah, okay. So somebody said, I know what aphids are thanks to the grouchy ladybird, okay? Yeah, in the UK it was called a ladybird, but in the US they called it a ladybug. Wasp being chased by a male wasp. Oh yeah, because Waspinator is despite being a male Predacon, he's scanned from a female wasp. In fact, there are some Transformers that are scanned from despite much of them being male, some of them have a bit of a gender scanning confusion. Like Tigerhawk is Tigertron is okay. Let me just see. Okay, let me just find the aphid. Let me just find. Oh yeah, okay. Anyways, sorry if I delayed a bit. In fact, Tigertron was scanned from a female tiger, despite the fact that he is a male. And when he merged with Airazor to become Tigertron, he is a male again. And funny enough, Airazor also had a bit of a gender confusion thing. I think it was in the toys. And the Japanese incarnation of Pterosaur, she was originally a girl, let's say. Actually, I'm not sure how to do this one. Sorry, I'm unable. I'm not sure how to do this one. Which type of bubbles? I haven't drawn this one in a while. I mean, I haven't drawn this one like ever, but it's quite interesting. What was that again? Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember what the aphids look like. Just trying to remember what the and one more thing, when Tigerhawk, and also some could argue that Tigerhawk is since he is made of parts of Airazor and Tigertron, one could argue that Tigertron is perhaps non-binary, which apparently is also a bit of a hot take for some people when it comes to Transformers. In fact, for some reason, anybody nowadays, when people talk about a character who's non-binary, everybody freaks out, especially with X-Men, with Morph becoming non-binary, or Nightshade in Transformers Earthspark being non-binary, or and some people debate if Nimona is actually a girl or is a gender fluid non-binary. Can be anything actually. since she or they can shapeshift. Surprisingly, the Steven Universe characters didn't have this gigantic backlash. Like Shep, who they are non-binary, or even Rain Whispers from the Owl House, or I'm surprised. They didn't get this humongous backlash, but why? How come they kind of got away scot-free, but characters like Morph and characters like Morph and Nightshade, or pretty much anybody who's considered non-binary nowadays is automatically backlash. It's just so unfair. Here. It's making me paranoid because I actually do have a couple of non-binary characters that I myself have created. Not a ton, just a couple. Oh. And I do want to try to make sure they are. I try not to joke too much about them, and I try to do a bit more with them than just they're non-binary because I'm trying to make them as an actual character, in a sense. Anyways, what is it? Oh yeah, I was supposed to look up an aphid. Sorry if I came off as a bit insensitive and a little bit ignorant. I apologize if any of what I said makes you uncomfortable. If I said anything wrong, you are free to correct me in anything. You're free to correct me on any of these things. Sorry if I went a little heavy, let's say. It's just I just wish NB-phobia is people would stop with this NB-phobic stuff. NBs are human too, just like gays are human. And lesbians are human, intersex are human. Anybody of the LGBTQIA plus is about as human as those who are heterosexual. The real monster, those who are homophobic or transphobic or whatever, or LGBT phobic, they're monsters. They're not human. They're monsters. Okay. Whew. Glad I got that out of my system. Anyways, the aphid is done, and I just realized I colored this thing in. Whoops. That's supposed to be. Next up is the ladybug, or ladybird. Oh, and speaking of trans, in Bug's Life, one of the most common jokes is that Francis is a ladybug, but he's often later revealed to be a guy. He said something about that flyboy. But he's a guy. I'm not sure if that will fly well today. Hey, I mean, anyways, let's see what we got. Let's see if I can remember what she looked like. Wait, oh yeah, here it is. Wait, I'm supposed to give her a ladybug outfit, so, As a fun fact about ladybugs is that they're part of the beetle family. Sometimes they call them ladybird beetles, or just ladybugs, or just ladybirds. Eric Call, like I said, had two different names for his book. It was both the grouchy ladybug or the bad-tempered ladybird. And I remember reading that book as a kid, where he tries to fight off as many different animals as possible, but he's like, oh, you're not big enough for me. And it ranges from creatures like as small as an insect to something as big as a rhino, all the way up to a whale. Before you ask, I'm not doing the miraculous ladybug outfit. I'm just making up my own ladybug themed outfit in a way. You could say this is kind of based on the Skylanders Imaginators ladybug outfit. Okay, so this is the best I can do for Violet Heart dressing up as in a ladybug themed outfit. Take a will as a will. Now for the beautiful and elegant walking stick. In fact, to do this in a David Hyde Pierce type of voice, there are many different types of things to do with a walking stick. In fact, sometimes it's called a stick insect, and sometimes it's just used as something for lots of. In fact, how many puns can you think of with a walking stick? Yes, David Hyde Pierce is a very good actor, but he's often very typecasted. Kind of mentioned it. Slim is also very typecasted. He's often a prop, a stick. You're a walking stick! In fact, David Hyde Pierce has often played a very professor and intellectual type of character, don't you think? Especially with characters like, Drix from Osmosis Jones, the movie, not the TV series, or Dr. Doppler from Treasure Planet. Like I said, he often plays a lot of professorish characters. Just trying to find a good picture of what I want to draw for her. Let's see, how many characters have I drawn so far featuring characters from TDI? even though there's like dozens and dozens of characters. In fact, I think there's like about 100 of them. Um, and uh, let's see. I've drawn before I got into the show during commissions. I drew Gren and Courtney. It was part of a Patreon commission, and I drew Owen, which was not really a Patreon commission, but basically drawn as a bit of an apology for getting some things late done, having some things done late. There's also I've drawn. I'm trying to remember what else I drew, and then I drew Izzy, and most of them were requests, but I have drawn Lashana before. It was only a head for one of my from one of my animations, and I've drawn Lindsay as part of one of my animations, and so far, most of the TDI characters I've drawn are girls with only one boy. Now here's another inconsistency I noticed in Total Drama. In one challenge, in one of the challenges, she's forced to have. I think I can't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to rewatch the episode. Although I have done so, and they were forced to eat some pizzas with bugs on it and stuff like that. But in action, in Total Drama action, Lashana said, "I love pizza, but dairy and I do not mix well," indicating that she is perhaps lactose intolerant. All I'm thinking about is that moment where Eddie, when in Ed, Ed and Eddie, where Eddie thought his brother was coming back, but when Eddie's brother starts ordering a milkshake, like a split sundae, Eddie is like, "Hey, wait a minute. Whatever happened to that lactose thing you say this?" Although that inconsistency also was in the Owl House, believe it or not. And there were a couple of episodes where Luz can be seen with some cheese, and she even mentions that that on a diary, an audio diary, that she's had some cheese thing. Even though in the Enchanting Gromfried she says, one of her fears is that she's lactose intolerant. And funny enough, her mother is also said to be in that same audio thing. She said Luz's mom is also lactose intolerant. Then again, I saw a milk carton in her. I saw a milk carton in the episode where where the doppelganger Luz is revealed to be V. I think it was Yesterday's Lie. That's it. Yeah. Like I said, it's a bit inconsistent unless they've taken their pills or they've ordered dairy-free cheese or milk or something like that. I think this is one of the particular reasons why I wasn't able to watch Total Drama in its earlier years. It's because especially in Malaysia or when I was in England at the time, is because some of it is very controversial. Well, I mean, like that episode where Heather accidentally reveals. She accidentally had something ripped out. That was a very infamous scene, but iconic, but infamous. And There's also moments where they basically flip birds. Yes, but of course you see a sensor bar over them. Let me just make I think I'm not sure. Am I not making it? Is it too small? Is it too big? Mm. Yeah, there was a lot of in the 90s and early 2000s, it was a bit of a stylistic choice to have characters with thick outlines, and to have thick lines, and each of them is very squarish. In fact, this happens a lot in fact, in shows like Dexter's Lab, Donnie Bravo, The Powerpuff Girls, and they had a lot of sharp characters with a sharp edge, sometimes with thick outlines. It was, and I made Total Drama follow the same pattern. There we go, fellas. We have Lashana having some walking sticks with pizza on it. Once again, dairy, and I don't think dairy does not agree with her, and I don't think arthropods do either. Now, which one do you choose for this one? Do you want a caterpillar or a butterfly? Once again, fellas, caterpillar or butterfly? Okay, this one? Huh. I've never drawn her before, even after so many years of drawing. Okay, just a quick moment. I need to shrink some of these models a bit because they're taking a bit too much room. But don't worry, they'll be resized when I convert them to images. Now, I used to think she was a cheetah at first. I didn't because her face looks a little too small to be like that of a fox. But apparently it was revealed that her species is indeed a fox. This had me confused a little bit, believe it or not. If you could have any bystander from if you can have any bystander from Skylanders actually become a Skylander, who would you pick? Oops. No. These are too. This is a little too weird. These look too weird. I apologize for that. Yeah, that's more like it. I think something's not right. Okay, just adding a few more touches here, and oh, I forgot one more thing. Let me just include this little bit of detail before I get to it. And to make sure she's still a fox. Oh, and now one more thing. There we go, fellas. We have Tessa from Skylanders, dressing flying like a butterfly. Does she sing like a bee? Okay, what's next, fellas? And now we come to my favorite and one of, if not my most favorite insect, the Rhino beetle. So anyways, what was the... Imagine Tess driving a Tesla. Let's see here. Maya the bee, Rhinos in beast mode. Didn't wanna go. Hair across. Just a minute. Yeah, funny that you should mention that character because I brought down something that I brought down a book that actually has that character. And I just need to find something that can hold it down while I read it. I know the version you're watching is it differs from the toy. Um, Now, funny enough, this character actually does appear in the show, but not in the not in his Earth form. He never came to Earth. He instead stayed in a space station, let's say. And also his appearance is a lot more different from his appearance appearance in the toys. They discuss about how that they have to be in. So I'm trying to remember what was it like. In Beast Wars, the show is about a group of rogue Predacons trying to try to go back in time to get some more energon and to bring back the war between Maximals and Predacons, because they feel like they've been restricted. There are some Predacons that, believe it or not, some Predacons are Cybertron have been granted amnesty and are at peace with the Maximals. Like Ravage, who was a Decepticon reprogrammed as a Predacon. And he was in the Predacon Alliance and trying to help the Maximals apprehend Megatron. In fact, the Tripredacus Council even see Megatron as a nuisance. They're like, Megatron is brilliant, but a rogue. He causes too much trouble. But they do think that but even though they are at peace with the Maximals, they're still thinking about rising to Predacon glory again. You could argue there's a bit of politics with Maximals and Predacons. I think the classic good guys and bad guys things, it's always, even that is a form of politics in a way. Yeah, when people keep saying that shows nowadays are just too political, you could say the good guys and the bad guys thing, it's basically a simple form of politics, especially with the Autobots and the Decepticons. It's a bit of a form. It's basically Cybertonian politics. Even Generation 1 had its fair share of politics. There are episodes of Transformers where it features other alien races and they're going with peace treaties and stuff. Like there's a group of aliens that are at war with each other. They want to kill each other and stuff. But the Autobots, they try to make sure things are at better terms with them. One example is the Quintesson Journal, where a bunch of aliens start fighting each other, and then they figured out it was the Quintessons had been tricking them into selling some sort of weaponry of some sort. And when they discover this, they go against the Quintessons and they make peace with the other alien race and something like that. It's you could argue it's very confusing. I'll admit, I didn't fully understand it myself. But like I said, the people complaining that cartoons nowadays are getting a bit too political, well, some bits of diplomacy and politicalness have been around for quite some time. In fact, even the Looney Tunes would sometimes poke fun of politics. And even Animaniacs, they done and Pinky and the Brain, they done jokes and episodes about politics. I mean, how many episodes feature Bill Clinton or the Brain trying to get into the White House? And funny enough, even though Beast Wars was originally supposed to be its own series, it was later they decided to make some connections with it with G1. But there are apparently a lot of some of the Beast Wars characters. They have their own unique names that differ from the original Transformers series. There are others like Megatron and Scorponok. They retain their G1 names. Heck, the Ramhorn was originally a Rhino in a Rhino cassette in G1 Transformers. Here, Ramhorn is a Decepticon Rhino Beetle. I have not got my hands on Tripredacus or the Tripredacus team, but I have gotten my hands on the other the Maximal team, the Magma Boss team, the one with the elephant, the eagle, and the one with the elephants, the eagle, and the lion, and their names are Prowl, Silverbolt, and Ironhide. And keep in mind, this was before I knew what G1 was, and before the Fusor Silverbolt. And according to the book that I'm using to model this Ramhorn, there are two different types of silver. The Silverbolt we know is a separate version from the other Silverbolt, and according to this, the other Silverbolt, the Eagle Silverbolt, is primary function is a Maximal Elder. Here. While the Silverbolt we know, the Wolf Eagle Fusor, he's the Tracker. Anyways, that's the Rhino Beetle taken care of. Next up, the Black Widow Spider. Now, I have drawn the Black Widow Spider before, but let's see. I think I've toiled with Lenny's fear of spiders too much. Let's see. Now, once again, fellas, if you have nothing to request, just ask me any question. Now, one thing I must let you know. I don't know if I said this before, but even though this is very common and sometimes I have to do this for various reasons. The hourglass on the Black Widow Spider is upside down. Actually, it's underneath the abdomen instead of over. But the reason why I often put it over is because I really have no idea how to position a Black Widow Spider upside down without her web. And I say her because Black Widow Spiders with the hourglass vest are female. Now, believe it or not, the first time I've heard of a black widow spider was of course the Bug's Life with Rosie. I once played the Bug's Life Active Center, and one of the options is to take a picture of the animals. The whatever bug was available, and rather than and when you take a picture of the animal, it showcases fun facts about the animal it represents. For example, you take a picture of Rosie, it showcases the black widow spider. You take a picture of Slim, it showcases the walking stick. And if you take a picture of Flick, it shows the ants. You take a picture of Ada, it features the queen ant. Picture Aphid, it's an aphid. Picture Dim, it's a rhino beetle, etc. In fact, this listing I got over here, this list of all the animals I got here, they all came from the Bugs Live Active Center. I remember every how many characters there were and what type of bugs they showed, including the black widow spider. And next up is the pill bug, or woodlouse, or roly-poly bug, or something that's a little similar like a pill millipede, or an isopod. Basically whatever tuck and roll are. You know, those little acrobatic roly-poly bugs that don't speak English? My mom told me it was Hungarian for some reason. You're fired! You're fired! At least she won't become Silk. I have no idea for pill bugs. Okay. Well, sure thing. One day I should probably take a peek at Aqua Team Hunger Force. I mean, I am aware of how popular it is, but I never once got a chance to view it. I know some of my fans have seen it, and I have seen reviews of the show and the first movie. And funny enough, despite the title of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, the characters are not teenagers, and it's nothing to do with underwater. I wonder how they came up with the title. Then again, we got Legend of Zelda, and that focuses mostly on Link, while Zelda is the princess who often guides Link. Sometimes she can take care of herself, usually when she's disguised as somebody else. And this is what a pill bug looks like, and it also rolls up. Look at him and tell him there is a god. Okay, there is a god. Although okay, moving on. The pill bug is done. Now for the praying mantis. The praying mantis, a creature that has its two legs like a raptor, like, and it's a line from the show. Did you watch No Time to Spy, a Loud House movie? Not yet, but I will. I just need some time to do so. Oh. Now here's a funny thing about here's a funny thing about um, the here's a funny thing about kung fu. I mean, here's a funny thing about DreamWorks and Pixar. They both have a film that is dedicated to insects. They're the oldest film. They both came out in 1989, and they mostly star an ant. And funny enough, all of them are. Both of them have not been given a sequel. In fact, they're the longest. They're the longest films of their respective. They're the longest films of their respective studios to not have a franchise. I mean, to not have a sequel. In fact, there used to be, at one point they once joked about making a Bug's Life 2 in 1999. Remember in the Toy Story 2 bloopers where they were talking about, they say something about a Bug's Life 2. Oh yes, there's a tiny thing I had to talk about. Yeah, okay, what is it? Well, it's a 2 movie, but it's not a Bug's Life. I don't understand. What is it then? And then, and action, and Buzz Lightyear chops away lick away. Now, if just pretend, they actually do, for some reason, bring back. They somehow just bring back Bug's Life out of nowhere. Like they just decided, you know what? Let's do a sequel to a Bug's Life. If they've waited long enough, let's make a sequel. Just pretend that a sequel to Bug's Life just happened. It would be the longest. It would be the longest that a Pixar film has had a sequel, over 20 years. While in fact, before it's the Incredibles that had that. As of now, Incredibles has held that record, having a 14-year gap between Incredibles 1 and 2, and Incredibles 3. And now if Bug's Life was had just announced a sequel, it would be like I said, it'll be the longest. But I'm not sure if you can bring back a Bug's Life. I mean, for one, the story is based on The Ant and the Grasshopper, as well as The Seven Samurai. What other story do you think it can do to adapt, or can it try and make an original story of a Bug's Life? And also another problem, the voice actors, some of them are gone. Like Hamlet's actor is gone, Manny's voice actor is gone, Gypsy's voice actress is gone. Even the Queen, the voice of the Queen, Phyllis Diller, she's gone. Now, we don't have to worry about Hopper's voice actor, Kevin Spacey, even with those allegations, because we see him meet his maker with the birds. But for the other films, but thankfully some of the other Pixar Bugs Life voice actors, they have been working in other films. Like Flick played one of the monsters of Terry and Perry in Monsters University, and Princess Sada plays the Lightfoot mother in Onward. There we go. We just got Mantis from Kung Fu Panda. Next up is a moth. Now, one thing you must know. There is a moth. The moth. There are many different types of moths, but which type of moth do you want me to do? There's the silk moth. There's the sponge moth. It was originally supposed to be called a gypsy moth, but I hear the word gypsy is a bit of a derogatory name for some people. I think it's a type of word that only Frollo should use. You know, the bring this gypsy vermin to the palace. This is not something that you and I should be saying at this day and age. We should call it a sponge moth.
Wowie.
Let's see. So, squash. What is a squash? What is squash? What is Valentino? What is a? Wait, isn't that? Never mind. Let me have a look. What else? Venomoth. Oh, I remember. Which morph? Which morph are you talking about? Which morph? Is it morph from? Is it morph from X-Men? Is it morph from Treasure Planet? Which morph are you talking about? By the way, in my country, we have one of, if not the largest moths in the world. The Atlas moth. It is very beautiful. It's basically a brown moth with some great patterns. It's one of, if not the largest moth in the world. Something's on my phone. I'll check it out after I finish this. Oh, somebody's giving me some loaves. Oh. Anyways, let me show you. Let me try and draw what the Atlas moth looks like. Also, here's another funny. Here's another sad fact. Some moths have no ability to eat after the larva stage. When they reach adults, they lose their mouth parts, and thus they have to resort to whatever energy they got left to mate, just fly about whatever left, and then just die, just like that. It's a similar thing with mayflies. They have no mouth parts, so they're forced to eat. They're forced to just fly about, lay eggs, and just die. Very sad. In fact, I actually once encountered a dying mayfly. It was very sad, but it's nature. Why am I not doing this right? Also, I heard a lot of people say that Bug's Life has been quite forgotten. Like, not a lot of people remember Bug's Life. But since I remember watching it a lot of Bug's Life sticks with me. Like the music, the amounts of insects it introduced me to. I remember a lot from A Bug's Life. Debating more so than Toy Story. I remember Bug's Life more than I remember Toy Story. And sorry if anybody is a Toy Story fanatic out there and is gonna be angry at me for saying Toy Story is superior and for saying Bug's Life is superior. No, I still think Toy Story is superior, but I do remember Bug's Life even more. Um. And one more thing with the sequel thing with Bug's Life, now reason why now for Ants not getting a sequel, probably for the best because I hear Woody Allen's got a bit of some hidden secrets. And also, he wasn't gigantic on voicing. For the character. He just wanted to get the job done and so he can get out of here. He didn't want to take the job he didn't want to spend too much time voicing the character. Okay, this is my interpretation of the Atlas Moth. What do you think? There's also been debate whether or not Ants or Bug's Life, who owns the idea of Ants or Bug's Life. I mean, technically Ants came out first, but Bug's Life is the more well-known one. Okay, next up is The Flea. Now, here's another thing you should know. The Flea is perhaps the first time I noticed that an actor is played by the same actor. I was like, why does he sound so familiar? Sound a lot like that piggy from Toy Story. And then later I was wondering, how come that abominable snowman sounded so familiar? Then when I started watching the Cars, I'm like, wait a minute, they're using the same voice for every movie. What kind of a carpet production is this? Yes, John Ratzenberger came back in Inside Out too. It was a 4-year gap, believe it or not counting his appearance in Monsters at Work. And the thing with fleas is that they can hop around. They can scratch you. Whenever nowadays when I think about a flea, all I'm thinking about is that song from the Looney Tunes, and this flea goes far in a corner, far in a corner, far in a corner for me, something like that. And now over here is a fly, any type of fly. That fly, probably one of, if not the most common animal you'll find in the house. It's attracted to anything that's stinky. Like, who ordered the poo-poo platter? Huh, Homo with a fly. It reminds me of the time Bart became a fly. And it basically pays homage to the fly. Okay, I found a good use for that one. Let me see him. Just a little. Zip. Just a little coloring effect, just to. Well, if he's annoyed with the fly, I don't blame you. Foul, disgusting creature on this planet. To me, they pale compared to another bug I'll be talking about on the list. And one more thing, fellas. Once the examples are done, we'll be moving on to another batch of bugs of your choosing. In fact, this is what I'm doing right here. It's reminding me of the time. It's reminding me of the time. I made an animation focusing on the giants, and when they were sick, Bouncer had a virus which has him thinking something is somebody else. He thought Sparks was Megagyrus or Megagyrus, and thus he zaps him. Zip. Let's see, what do we got so far? We get, not bad, not bad. We're only just about an hour and 15 minutes in. We've done good. Next up, it's, this thing's a real stinker. A stink bug, also known as a shield bug. Hooey! Where has he been in? I think I did actually see a stink bug once. He was a little tiny fella. He did sting a little bit, but it was kind of adorable. Let's see here. I think of the Snively. You mean Snively? Snivy. Who is Snivy? What? Which version of Secret Squirrel? Which version of Secret Squirrel are you talking about? Is it the 1960s one by Hanna-Barbera starring Mel Blanc as Secret Squirrel, or the 1990s Secret Squirrel from the as a part of Stupid Dogs starring Jess Harnell as Secret Squirrel? Have you seen the Loud House episode "Love Me Tanner"? Do do do. So sorry, I just can't help but be reminded of the song. Whenever the Loud House had the song "Love Me Tender," do do do. I have, but I kind of forgot what was it about. Okay. 60s it is. Yeah, too. Morocco Mo. Was it? Yeah, funny enough, I think Secret Squirrel from the 60s. I think that was one of, if not my first awareness of a rebooted show being alongside the 80s. It was the first time I was aware of a show that was rebooted. How do I say this? I remember when I was a kid, they used to rerun both the 80s, the 60s Secret Squirrel, as well as showcase the 90s Secret Squirrel. And I was thinking to myself, why does Morocco Mo look different? Yeah, in fact, in case you don't know, in the original, Morocco Mo was brown, and he had he had glasses, but you can see his eyes. While in the reboot, he is gray, and he has and his glasses, they don't showcase his eyes. I'm not sure how many people remember the 60s one, but I'm sure some of you are probably more familiar with the 90s one. And another voice acting highlight is Tony J as the Bison. And in fact, that's not his only role in Secret Squirrel. He actually performs a few other additional voices. It's that his most recognizable one is the Buffalo, the "Positively, Mr. President. Oh, absolutely, Mr. Callister. Yes, Mr. Seibert. Yes, I'll get my best man on it, Mumsy." And funny enough, he's actually able to do an American accent very well when voicing Secret Squirrel. I mean, I noticed that when he voiced the characters like this polar bear looking at some mud, he's like, Indeed, it was truly a masterpiece. Greetings, sister. Sorry if my voice is a bit too high. I'm not able to hit that same note as Tony J. I mean, his is very deep with characters like Frollo and stuff, but welcome, sister. Or I think the highest he's ever done is like a "Yeah, you clumsy oaf," as And sometimes when you hear him alongside Tim Curry, it kind of sounds like a dream come true. That you get to hear Tim Curry and Tony Jay in the same program, like with the Mighty Ducks. You dunderheads can't even steal a single piece of aluminum oxide. That simple piece of aluminum oxide has a very complicated alarm system. This conversation is closed, Dread. Now the thing with stink bugs is that they're also known as shield bugs because of the way they look. Like their backs are like that of a shield. Well, if I can't draw... In fact, the first time I've noticed that some bugs have different names and stuff, it was either, I think it was either Disney's Bug's Life Active Play with Ladybird and Ladybug, or maybe Impossible Creatures when the stink bug apparently was also known as a shield bug. And to complete the effect, here we go. I heard a type of caterpillar also is kind of stinky. And before I stink up this live stream, let's move on to something else stinky. The dung beetle. One of the few insects in the world that basically eats crap. And I'm sure I'm gonna put off a lot of people when I say that this creature literally eats sugar honey iced tea. A perfect character to react to. Wait, I'm trying to remember. How did I draw him before? I remember drawing him before. Let's have a look. It's hard to believe it's been about 10 years since Ryu 2. It's been about 10. I don't know. It's been about 10 years or nearly 10 years. I need to check the release date since Rio 2 was released. I remember at one point the blue macaw of which Rio was a part of got extinct in the wild at one point in 2019. Now, one important thing about a dung beetle is that they're known to put their backs into it. Literally. Actually, is it wise to showcase dung towards children, especially if we're having a dung beetle? Because I hear parents or even heck even animation critics complaining about any kids shows that talk about poop of any kind, or even showcasing any poop, like the poop emoji. No, he doesn't have those big feelers. There we go, fellas. Hey, we got ourselves a... Okay, that's enough stink for a while. Let's go to something even grosser than that. Ugh, this one. It's part of the collection, it's part of the Bugs Life Active Center, but... Man, is this my least favorite insect in the entire world. Thankfully, I can try and make it into a character or have something else making me like it. And in fact, I do joke about it at times, but every time I see that little monster, I just want to squish it. And I freak out. And yes, even some of my favorite characters are indeed... even some of my favorite characters can also be some of my least favorite animals. Isn't that let's see. The cockroach Germany to yeah, just a quick moment. I think I found something better. Wait, let me just double check. Did I just I could have sworn I've um and his feet are man, some people are just giving one of my favorite characters of Splice something to be afraid of.
I refuse to draw this one super realistically. It must be as cartoony as possible.
At least it wasn't,
Okay, moving on before I had to stare at that thing. Next. Okay, that's taken care of.
Here's another stuff of nightmares. A centipede. Now, funny enough, the centipede, the name of centipede means 100 legs. But the funny thing is, a centipede can have that many amounts of legs, but every number it has is always odd. Like from 71 to 151, there's never an even pair of legs. Which Eleanor? Eleanor, you're talking about Eleanor Rigby? Martin the Church, the Father Mackenzie. Better not sing anymore, just in case I get copyright claimed. And there's one of the... Sorry, this is becoming a little bit more cartoonier than usual, but I don't think a lot of people... But, now, one thing in The Bug's Life I think they've got wrong is the picture they got of the centipede. The Bug's Life active play. The Bug's Life active play showcase. It does mention a centipede, but they showcased it more like a millipede. Because it's got the body and structure more like that of a millipede. There is a song, I remember playing a piano music song where this something about a thousand-legged worm, and it says something, and I think it goes something like this: "I ate a thousand-legged worm as it gave a little squirm. Have you seen the leg of mine? If it can't be found, then I'll have to hop around on my 990, on my 999. Hop around, hop around. Have you seen a leg of mine? Oh, if it can't be found, then I'll have to hop around on my 999. Yeah, that's a song I've learned about on my piano. I don't know if I'm not sure if it's a nursery rhyme or a public domain song or something like that, but I've heard about it. And the thousand-legged worm, I think, is a reference to a centipede or a millipede. And one more thing, fellas, if you come across a centipede, stay away from it. It's a biter. And it can be very toxic as well, very venomous. Please, and it can nip at you very tightly. It is that painful. And there's even a moment when a centipede is able to eat through an insect from the butt and the inside out, way up to the eyeballs. It's a stuff of nightmares, more so than a spider to some extent. Make sure you have the strongest steel for your house, because these things sure love to have a good fiber, the termite that lives in the colony like an ant. I actually have a book that showcases different types of termites. There's the king termite, the queen termite, the worker termite, and the big soldier termites, the one that have heads huge and they squirt acid. The bane of every wooden things. Even Pinocchio's? I think I've seen that one before. Let's see, Dexter.
Cute.
Huh.
We call him Timmy the termite. There we go, fellas. We got Timmy the termite. From Dexter's lab.
The firefly. Now, the firefly is something that you thought it was Plankton's pet. And mainly I was thinking, why does he look a lot like Spot? I mean, I actually looked up. I was like, why does Timmy the termite look like Spot from SpongeBob? Yeah, the firefly. I think I've told this story many, many times. Remember the time I talked about why my Firefly project was a bit of a bust, and why I don't really like to talk about it too much? Anyways, why would you want to squish a firefly? They're beautiful, and besides, they're endangered. Here, they're endangered where I live. It's why that guy wanted me to do that firefly thing in the first place. Now, here's a funny thing. Even though they're called fireflies, they're actually beetles. And funny enough, fireflies, only the male fireflies can fly. The females, they just stick to they cannot fly. They stick to the ground. Nope, that's not right. My Bale Evangeline. Mm-hmm. Wait. I'm just a minute. Let me just do a little something. Now there are some. Now here's one thing a lot of people tend to do. Even for insects, they would sometimes just give them the same amount of limbs we have, rather than their usual 6. Yes. Now this is usually done to cut over some corners, like when they're animating, or just for budgetary reasons, or they're just a bit of laziness. I mean, we have plenty of. There are several bugs in cartoons that only have about 4 limbs. And there are some that do keep to the 6 legs. Like I think Dim the Rhino beetle was like one of the very few bugs, as well as the grasshoppers. There are some of the very few bugs to still maintain the 6 limbed anatomy, while some of the others like the ants and Francis the ladybug, and they have only 4 limbs. Okay, so for those who don't know what a tsetse fly is, it's basically like a mosquito. The tsetse fly is a deadly, yes, it is a deadly bug, and they say once it sucks your blood, you're gonna have trouble sleeping. The first time I have heard of the tsetse fly was in not SpongeBob. The Bugs Life Active Center. There's a character named Tsetse, and she's acting as a waiter, as a waitress, and she needs a bit of help. And the fly character goes, Tsetse, since it's your first day on the job, our friend here is gonna lend a hand. Just click on Tsetse and guide her to those customers sitting at those tables. Once you're done, or you just want to give her a rest, just click at the thing right now. Just click back at me. Something like that. And the first time I actually seen what a real life tsetse fly looked like was in the movie about a baby cheetah. And this guy who was like helping this kid. He tries to fight. He's trying to and when in Africa, they come across a tsetse fly swarm. The guy protects the kid from tsetse flies, but he ended up being sick at the end. He was breathing very badly. Sorry if this is a very odd positioning, but trying to figure out what does the and it's
he tries to fly away. But it's too strong.
One more thing, fellas. I don't know if this applies to tsetse flies, but mosquitoes. The females are the vampires, while the males are the vegetarians. And funny enough, mosquitoes are. I have seen a male mosquito in England. It was a huge gnat, but it was definitely a male because it had the mustache. One way you could tell if a mosquito is a male or a female is the mustache. And I actually did try getting Now, if you come to my country, mosquitoes are definitely a big nuisance. I had gotten bitten several times, and at one point I did get dengue fever. And it was not very pleasant. Though I don't really remember how bad my experience was with a mosquito with dengue fever compared to something like the COVID or even just the common flu I had before. From getting food poisoning. So I'm just trying to remember what your Zin used to look like.
Get away from me, filthy bugs!
No. This is better. Let me do something a little bit better. Now, one thing to be proud of with tsetse flies is that they're not found in every continent. They're only found in some places, like mostly in Africa. Well, the mosquitoes, they're everywhere worldwide, mostly in the tropical areas, but keep on the lookout in case you see a mosquito. That's taken care of. A slug, a snail who has a housing problem. Now, I'm not sure that my first awareness over the fact that slugs can't really take salt is in that is in A Bug's Life when it was in the bar and grill. They ordered here's a little cake or some sort. Enjoy your meal.
Hey, I said no salt!
And heck, when you're doing the Teetsy challenge in the Bugs Life Active Center, one of the customers is a slug. Give it a slug thing. Give him his meal, and he'd be like, "Oh, why, thank you."
Ah! I thought I said no salt! Oh, gee willikers, You know, funny enough, something great is about to happen. And that's the relating to this character. Yes. I believe Camp Laszlo is. I think Camp Laszlo is why I decided to look up voice actors. It's a show where when I was wondering who voices who, I decided to start researching on voice acting, and one of them being, and some of my earliest searches for voice actors are Carlos Ellis Rockwee and Tom Kenny and Jeff Bennett, as well as Doug Lawrence and Steve Little. In fact, Camp Laszlo is perhaps my introduction to Wikipedia, believe it or not, and it was also when I made my first edit. The first time I did some editing was knowing about one of the minor scouts. They call him Gordon in the. But they once had a section for a scout named Gordon, who's the bear. But according to Edward, he doesn't have a name. It was said in the episode Camp Samson, where Edward is like, "This scout doesn't even have a name. You don't see him in pictures, in yearbook pictures." "Yeah," says Gordon. "You're not supposed to talk either." And I said, and one of the things I edited is that even though he's not supposed to speak, he still does. In fact, he was still speaking in episodes like 7 Deadly Sandwiches. He says, "I never been in a play before," said one scout, and he was like, "Really? Then get ready to live." We're nearly in the end of the challenge. There's only 4 more spots left. Who's ready for the bees? The bees. The bees. Let me have a... Marvelous. A little too yes, one of the infamous DreamWorks movies. You either love it for it's so bad it's good, or you're probably cringing at it for everything that's wrong with DreamWorks. Now, here's a funny thing. Both the Bee Movie and A Bug's Life have a character from Seinfeld. I can't. I am the Jerry Seinfeld character for the bees. For the Bee Movie, and I think there was it was that girl character for Princess. Was it Princess Adder's actress? I can't remember. It was definitely a woman character in A Bug's Life who also played a part in Seinfeld. Did you hear about the controversy? What was the controversy about? Yes, that's her. That's her. She also played a part in Onward, and she's the voice of Princess Ada, and also the voice of the Lightfoot's mom. According to the laws of the Activision, there's only a bee can be able to fly. Huh. And how come some bees are able to fly from flower to flower? Yeah, there was a you like jazz. It's in the Bee Movie script. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. For me, I think the best type of bee humor was in Rowan. It was in one of Rowan Atkinson's skits. I'm not sure if I told this joke. I'm not sure if I told this before, but there was an interview with John Cleese playing a character, and Rowan Atkinson introduced him as Mr. Powell. He talked about beekeeping, and Mr. Bean's skit is that he interviews the beekeeper, but then he starts making these random noises to pass the time. It basically goes something like this. Good evening. Tonight we're having a look at beekeeping. And here to tell us all about it, we have a studio man who's been keeping bees for over 40 years, Mr. Reginald Prombaugh. Good evening, Mr. Prombaugh. Good evening. Tell me, what does this interest you in the bee world, Mr. Prombaugh? Well, even as a child, I used to shh. Oh, so sorry, shouldn't I say that? No, of course you shouldn't. Pay no attention, please. When I say shh, it's just a nervous mannerism I picked up. And if I want you to keep quiet, I would say shush. You were saying? Well, I see now. Well, even as a child, I used to wander around. Shh. Sorry. In my house, near my house, I'm watching bees fly from flower to flower. Shh. Taking recitative of arms, resident shush. Was that wrong? I'm so sorry. Did I say shush? I meant shh. Do go on. It's most interesting. And so I've grown to love the lovely little creatures. You know, nature really has produced a little masterpiece in the life of the bee. Quack! I'm so sorry about that. I'm afraid that's a reflex I should too. I squawk whenever someone mentions the word life. Quack! You see, even when I mention it myself, I should have told you. Please, go on. Okay, while I move on, I'm still going to tell the thing while I move on to the other. See what spider thing you come up with. Oh, very well. You know, I've grown to, and in my childhood, I've grown to love the little categories. Shh. I mean, the bees have been divided into categories. Shh. The queen bee and the worker bee, whose lives span quack Oh, whose living expectancy is only about 1 year. The worker bees, on the other hand, have a much longer. Shush! Did you want me to stop? Yes, you were just about to say life. Quack! No, I wasn't. I'm so sorry. Please, continued. Oh, as I was saying, the worker bees do have a much longer life. Quack! I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say it because you just got me all rattled. But this is how the bee community works. This is that the queen bee stays in the hive. Was that because I said hive? Pardon? Did you make that noise? Because I said hive. Oh, no. Well, why do you make it then? I was just practicing. Practicing? Practicing for a word you're about to say very soon. Do go on. While the worker bees fly from flower to flower, collecting the pollen. I say pollen. Let me just redraw this again. So, pollen. Oh, this is the most stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Quack! I mean, every time I said pollen or hive or live, quack! I mean, how do you ever become an interviewer? And then suddenly, Mr. Bean Merwin Atkinson comes up and he just runs around in circles. What's going on now? Is this because I said interviewer? And then he speeds up. Interviewer. And then it ends. Now there are two different endings to this. One version I've heard of on the radio was when John Cleese character leaves, and Mr. Bean then announces, "From bees to guitars, it's Mr. Guitar himself, Mr. Guitar Innes." So a musician comes in, and then the musician goes, "I'd like to play this song in French, released in a French accent. Nevertheless, it's still a song about life." And then Mr. Bean goes up on a rampage. He goes, "Quack! Shh, quack! Shh, quack, quack!" And then he gets shot. Don't worry, it's all part of the act. Then another ending is then after the interviewer thing, the John Cleese character comes up and then he shoots Rowan Atkinson himself. And then that's how it ends. Sorry about that. And that was it. That was the end. You can find that version on YouTube if you like. That was probably the funniest thing I've ever heard of that was something that was bee related. I kept listening to that skit so many times that I remembered the entire skit, and I remember repeating it word by word. Sometimes it drives my parents crazy, but it brings a joy to some others. The Bergens are coming. Now let me just rub off a bit of Billy's nose. Don't worry, I'll add in those lines back. Oops. At least it wasn't Jeff the Spider, otherwise he'd be in real big trouble. By the way, the reason why Billy is afraid of spiders is because that marshmallow rabbit, scared him with a spider as a kid. Let me do the butterfly after I do these last two things on the list. Just a random beetle, but which specific beetle? I've done the rhino beetle, I've done the ladybug, I've done the dung beetle, and I've done the firefly. But which other beetles do you have in mind? There's the scarab beetle, there's the bombardier beetle, the one that squirts acid out of its abdomen. Which other beetle are you thinking of? Which other beetle? Let's see. It's the Doombug and Dino Ring, Beetle Kirby, Beetlejuice with a scarab beetle. Let me just I heard Beetlejuice is coming back. If I want to properly represent Beetlejuice, I best have him like this. I haven't seen the cartoon, but I do know some folks who I do know a reviewer who has seen it. I have seen the movie. Let me just raise the eyebrow a little bit. Me. Yeah, let's just include a Ren. You gotta wonder how the heck a show like this got away with a PG, and it had one use of strong language like nice effort model, hunk hunk. In fact, the 80s, they were able to get away with some words like that in the 80s. Like, in fact, there's an episode where the Transformers movie got away with the S word in one scene. Like, look, it isn't even dead. What are we gonna do now? In fact, South Park poked fun of. So apparently, they say there was a limit on how many swears you could say. They say if you have more than 400 swears, then you have to you have more than 400 swears, then your film becomes an NC-17. So South Park basically included 399 swears in their film Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. Exactly 399. And they barely managed to still keep it R-rated. Nowadays, I don't think we can get away with one S word in a PG film, because nowadays PG is practically just kids stuff. In fact, Home on the Range is PG mostly because of another joke. Moana is PG because it has a P joke. Frozen is a PG because it has a foot joke. And Milo Pony the movie apparently was a PG. Maybe because of the way some of the characters got killed, like some of the demons are on fire, or trying to think, the Storm King, when he dies, he falls apart in stone. And funny enough, Hunchback of Notre Dame is a G-rated movie, as in general audience, or heck, it's U for Universal in England, and yet it mentions hell, has lustful, sinful imagery, especially in the Hellfire segment. It's not my fault. I'm not to blame. It is the gypsy girl. It is lame. There we go, fellas. Beetlejuice with a scarab beetle on its head. Now here's the thing. Now here's an interesting one. There's a type of creature called a daddy longlegs or harvestman. It's a type of arachnid or something that's familiar, that looks like a spider, but it's not really a spider either. Yeah. And there's one that looks like a bunny, believe it or not. So which one what do you want me to do with it? Anyone know Mommy Longlegs? I actually did a pun on that once upon a time. Once upon a time, I once made a character from. It was basically an OC Skylander swapper, and top of him, the top half is a mummy, and he's basically a mummy with many different legs. I call him Mummy Longlegs. So anyways, all right. I don't know about accidentally, but I think it's an alright diet to be on for this bird. Trying to remember how he yeah. At first, admittedly, it was a bit of a head scratcher at first, trying to figure out what a daddy longlegs or a harvestman is. I thought it was a spider, but no, it wasn't. And it is in a similar family, but it's not really. I don't know if this was Disney's idea, but I don't know if Disney was the one who started the idea that birds can occasionally have some teeth. I mean, there are moments when you see Donald Duck with some teeth. Especially when he's and when Scuttle was singing, I think he did show a little bit of teeth when he was singing the wow 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 wow. But the one who takes the cake is of course Iago, since he was based on Gilbert Gottfried. They thought about giving him some teeth, of which even Gilbert Gottfried pointed out.
They say it's a picture of a bird, a bad picture of a bird. And none of that, he doesn't even look like a bird, because he draws a bird with teeth.
Okay, fellas, let's finish this up with 4 freebies, and enlighten me with any type of bug you want. List any type of insect, and I'll try and draw it for yous. And it doesn't have to be just insects, can be some other creepy crawlies like an arachnid or a mollusk or anything else. Remember the enchanted tiki room under new management? Ah, yes, I remember that. I didn't see it though, but I didn't go to it. I actually went to it when I went to Florida, to Disney and World in Florida, and it was when the tiki room reverted back to its original format. You know, the original tiki 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 room in the tiki 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 room, and the flowers bloom in the tiki 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 room. I wasn't aware that it was the original one that did that. For a while, from 1989 to 2011, it was the I didn't know for a while that from 1989 to 2011 it was redone as the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management, and it was and in that one it was showcases that the characters were going on vacation. The original owners were going on vacation, so they left Tiago and Zazu in charge. And when the birds start singing, They go in the tiki room, in the tiki room. But then Iago interrupts them.
Are you listening to me? I said stop the music. What is this? I'm gonna toss my crackers. Here's
Iago?
Oh, look what the cat dragged in. 0.
That's Zazu. Be forewarned, Iago. You cannot toy with the enchanted tiki room.
What are you squawking about?
And the bird who sounds a lot like Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast goes,
Pardonnez-moi, Monsieur Iago, but I'm afraid your friend is right. He's not my friend. Obviously you don't know who we are. We're here to, don't you guys ever go to the movies and stuff?
Pardon me, but we don't go to out much. We are kinda, how you say, attached to this place.
Well, don't get too attached, fellas, 'cause we're the new owners.
New owners?
That's right. Now listen here.
And then he starts singing his version of "Friend Like Me." No, I think I'm not sure. How do I I think I need to do Baloo's thing a bit more. Yeah, that'll do. And then unfortunately, for after Iago's singing, this alerted Aoa, the Tiki goddess of disaster. Trying to remember how because it's, believe it or not, it's really not easy to and then they start singing some additional songs, but then Iago then comes out injured, and then they start singing some covers of like one of Kon Shikabari do the conga do the bada 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 every manga do the bada bada every tonga do, and in the end everybody's like okay, time to go, and then while everybody's going, and Iago's like,
all right, I'm getting tired. Hey, I'm going to the president's and get a nap.
right, off you go.
Woohoo! No one laid an egg but me.
And that's how it ends. Now, of course, that version had an infamous reputation. Before that fire that basically took out the Iago animatronic, and caused the thing to revert back to normal. People did not like what the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management was like. They wanted the original was timeless. This one is kind of dated. It's too hip and stuff like that. Trying desperately to be hip with the trendy kids. 2011 was definitely not a good year for Gilbert Gottfried. Not just because of the fire thing at the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management, but it was also the same year he tweeted about the stuff about the tsunami of Japan, the 2011 earthquake and tsunami. And he joked about this, and this got people so upset that Affleck, whom he used to do some voiceover for, they basically fired him, and they hired somebody else. He has made an apology for it, but unfortunately the damage was already done. Okay, that's taken care of. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes. Earthworm Jim. Now, funny enough, the creator of Earthworm Jim would later also be known for being the creator of Cat Scratch. But unfortunately, unfortunately, that same creator is in a bit of hot water in the past recent years. Let's just say he was a little phobic, if you will. He's one of those He's one of those creators where his creations are celebrated, but not the creator themselves. I mean, just like Ren and Stimpy. I mean, Ren and Stimpy is one of, if not the most revolutionary shows on Nickelodeon of all time. One of the most revolutionary cartoons of the 90s, but its creator, John Crispolucci, he not the best guy to hang around with. He is very messed up. The same can kind of be said with John Lasseter. His reputation has become a bit more divided in this day and age. Some definitely say he's not as bad as John Crispolucci, but others say, yeah, he's still not worthy of being mentioned. And the guy who made Earthworm Jim and Cat Scratch, I don't. A lot of people want. It's one of those shows on Nickelodeon, Cat Scratch. It's one of those shows on Nick where they want the shows to come back. They want a revival of the show, but I'm not sure now because of their creator. Sometimes a product without their creator can lead to a bad result. I mean, some people have been turned off by the recent episodes of The Loud House. Now, since ever since Chris Savino left, and they've lost a lot of charm, but they still have a good reason not to hire Chris Savino back. And they had a good reason to fire him. And you cannot be like Chris Savino. No, otherwise it's I mean, don't be like John Lasseter, don't be like Ron Crispolucci, don't be like Chris Savino, don't be like those creators where you may have a celebrated creation, but that doesn't give you the excuse to do these awful things. And perhaps they can revive Cat Scratch without the creator, but I don't know. I mean, they are reviving Ren and Stimpy on Comedy Central without John Kay. That's something. Anyways, what was I? Save Royal Woods. Okay, it's a bit crowded, but never mind. I just put in worm. Okay, 2 more bugs. Let's see. Using one. If you insist. Oops, I don't think I did that right. Let me just move it a little bit, I think. Yeah, that'll do. It was a... He's not even... Hey, fellas, don't complain about other people's requests, okay? It depends on what I want. And if yours didn't make it, then never mind. But if yours did make it, then how do I do this? Let me just yeah, this is even work. Another side. There. Something like that. Wait. I think I found a good. I think I found a. Okay, this is the best I could do. And perhaps if I, Alright, okay, this is the best I can do. Let me just make sure, yeah, this is the best I can do for that. Alright, just got one more. Anybody. Spittlebugs. Miss Ritzel with a scorpion. Tarantulas, Alejandro. Kind of my attempt to do this in a no, that won't do. how do I do this again? I'm trying to remember how I drew fists before. Just remembering how I drew my hand. Yeah, since this is the end of the live stream, you can ask me any question you want, and I'll try and respond as much as possible with whatever time we have left on the live stream. Just gather some lines to go with his scorpion costume. My introduction to the guy was to a Spider-Man video game. It was the 2002 game based on the movie. Yeah, sorry if his legs are a bit small. Just pretend they're at a very far distance from. Sorry, no, this will not do. Sorry, this will not do. They're too scrawny. You're far too scrawny. This will not do at all. Too scrawny. Okay, I think I'm just about done. There. This is better because... Ow! Oof! Ow! My arm is... my hand... Oops, forgot something. Oof! My hand is starting to ache. So sorry if any of you have any sorry if none of your other requests made it. I'm starting to lose my grip. Let's say. Yeah. Oh, and oops. Let me just fix that a little bit. There. There, it's all done. Whew. Let me just write this down, and then we're done. Oops. All right. That's it. That's all I can do. Whew. Oh, sorry, but I really got a bad hand right now, so I can't draw anymore. I can just instead answer any questions. Oh yeah, the Love Me Tanner episode is about Gus from the Gus's Games and Grub being an opera singer. Have you seen Rescue Rangers the series? I have seen a few of its episodes. I have seen a few of them. Wait, I did Butterfly twice. You mean that's you mean Moth. You mean the Moth. Oh. Never mind. Ugh, sorry, but I can't draw anymore. I'm sorry, because any bugs you hate? Plenty. Mosquitoes, cockroach, centipede, some species of spiders. There's plenty more where that came from. I'm not too fond of wasps. Yeesh. Did you see No Time to Spy? I have not yet, but I will. Well, is the next live stream going to have a super chat? Hopefully it will. Have you seen Road Rovers? I have not. Did you watch Max Steel? I have not. Okay. Are you okay? Yes, it's just my hand. It's just worn out from drawing so much. Did like 30 pictures. 26 on my Bugs Life active center listing, and few more by your choosing. Okay, what does it say here? When you installed last minute, you're too late. Was made of a super child. Would you accept my apology? How I reacted due to I forgot. What's your favorite DreamWorks movie? Hey, that's a good question. What's my most favorite? I think it's Kung Fu Panda. I think that's my most favorite of the movies. Number 2 would probably be How to Train Your Dragon. Okay, of the Timmy Time episodes, which one you didn't like? I've only seen one episode. I don't know how to make that determination. You did Twilight Fight twice, yes, but it's a mistake, but I don't want to go back. My arm is tired. My arm is too tired to do anything else. I can't fix that. I'm just going to have it as it is. Sorry about that. I like Marv as well. She looks like a fairy like Tinkerbell. Watched any episode of Super Mario Logan? No, I have not. Take a rest, man. Thanks. Fly Scratcher, by the way. Oh, I remember you. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, I think that's about it. I think that's all the questions for now. So if I'm gonna, yeah, thank you for joining me. Have a nice insect week, and now what's for my next live stream? Now, originally, I was thinking about doing a live stream that involves camping in a place of Canada, and we do all these crazy challenges. But I think since I've only gotten to that live stream, since I've only gotten into that franchise just a few months ago, I think I need to wait a bit longer, like maybe next year or some other time. Because I need to do a bit more research on the franchise before jumping into doing a live stream on that. But I did think of another type of live stream we can do. It's also about camping. Do I know about spittlebugs, aka froghoppers? I have heard about that. I'm thinking for my next live stream, it is still camping, but instead of Canada, it's somewhere else in the United States. And instead of humans, it's animals. We're gonna be camping with some animals, like with a monkey, with an elephant, with a rhino, with a moose, and a slug, and various other animals in the mix. And funny enough, a lot of their names, the stuff, the theme of that camp is mainly beans, believe it or not. Anyways, thank you for joining me. Sorry if I did the butterfly thing twice. I'll probably just do another insect drawing when my hand is all better. And thank you for joining me. I'll see you all in the next live stream. I hope you've enjoyed this video.